What's up, people? Y'all come on in. I'm going to give y'all a few minutes to come on in, Chim. I probably need some water. I hate the way it makes me look like I'm looking off and not directly on. Oh, nobody's here yet. I'm waiting for people to come in. I'm gonna get some. Y'all ain't here, so I'm gonna get some water.
Come on in the room. I don't want to sing that because you know that's Tabitha. So come on in the room.
Oh yeah, don't be sitting there.
I'm not trying to, but you know it was the first thing I thought about. Let's see who's out there. Hello. We have Kimberly Howard is watching. Hi, Kimberly.
My cousin.
Looks like Angie Ransom is on. Sup, Swarovski?
Kim Howard. Oh, hey, cousin. Invite your friends. This is going to be a good conversation tonight.
Come on in. We're waiting. Gregory Horn is watching.
Hey, Angie. Gregory Horn. Hello, Gregory. With 2 G's.
I know.
3 G's.
I know.
3 G's.
Go correct.
3 G's.
Get it right.
Tonight's gonna be good. We're gonna be talking about why can't people wait? Why are people in such a rush to be in relationships?
Hey, David.
I was gonna say
All the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, I see you. Nashville in the house.
Come on, people. Now I done sent out 100 texts.
Hello, Greg. Hey, Isaac. That's my brother.
What up, Ike?
Ike Monster. Hey, Shalita.
She talking about where are you? On Facebook Live.
At the house. Hey. Hey, Trent. All right, Sandra. Ooh, Sandra new, so I ain't seen you in a while. Hey, girl. Thank you for joining.
Renea. Hey, Renea.
What? Renea. Woo woo. Hey, cuz. Erica, Greg. Citibank. That's Citibank love right there. Hey, love.
Hey, Denisha. Okay, we're going to give it like 30 more seconds and we're going to jump in here. Because I don't want to hold y'all all night. Amen?
Amen.
Okay, I had 4 people. What happened to the other 2 people? They came in and backed out.
Shalita over here.
Oh, hey, y'all. So how you on her
Hey,
page and not
Fancy.
on my page, Shalita? She talking about where are you?
That's IBM love. What color in the house? Ooh, we used to cut up at work.
When have you not cut up?
Thank you, baby.
Okay, I'm going to get into it. So tonight, I'm going to thank you guys for coming back and joining us for another episode of Conversations with KFLO. Well, it's actually day to day and then Conversations with KFLO. I come on every other Thursday. That's the second and fourth Thursdays at from 6:30 till about 7:15. Before I get into the show, I want to mention, tell y'all to watch the podcast Fire Session. I was on Tuesday, created by Kenneth Boston. So if you can go to his page, go to Kenneth Boston's page or the Fire Session page on Facebook and YouTube, Instagram too, I think. And watch that, honey. Because speaking of fire, baby, these hot flashes, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you.
So, because I was going to wear a brim tonight, because y'all know I love brims, right? So, the other night on Tuesday, I was doing the fire session with them. You know, I'm all cute, got my brim on.
Right.
Baby, when I tell you I was so ready to get up out that brim, I was just, sweat. But when I took my head off, my hair was just all curled up. It was just so hot.
Did you see mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's your natural hair, though.
But it's still curled up from the sweat.
Oh, well, yeah.
I sweat all day.
Okay, yeah, so
After
if y'all know, I bought some stuff today for hot flashes. So if y'all know any natural remedies for hot flashes, you know, help your girl out. I would really appreciate
Help
it.
your girls out.
I appreciate it. Okay, so tonight my guest, my best friend, Michelle Monts. We've been friends for
30
years.
30
years. 30, something like that. So as usual.
Can we say that?
Right. So as usual, the topic today is why can't we wait? We're gonna get in our business, your business, and
Everybody's business.
So let's get into it. Y'all please like, tag, and share this podcast. And Michelle, you want to tell them a little bit about yourself, what you do? It's up to you.
Well, hey y'all, if you don't know me, I'm Michelle Monts. I'm originally from Lawton, Oklahoma. Been in Dallas, Texas for over 30 years, so I guess I'm a Texan now. I have several things that I do and skills that I love. So right now I'm currently a project manager for an intake team for contact centers for Advent Health. And if you don't know what that is, I build call centers. My second job, I am part of the management leadership team with Top Golf. My third job is I'm an actor. I'm an IT guru and just like IT things, and I'm an actor and with the Linicom agency and also with the information technology team and an Ivy Leaf reporter for Alpha Kappa Alpha. My sorority chapter is Theta Upsilon Omega. So I have a lot of jobs.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so I'm gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about relationships, and I chose the subject, why can't we wait? Because I have noticed and had so many conversations with so many people who feel the need that they have to be in a relationship, good or bad. Now, my thing is, I'm not going to be with anyone who can't add to my life. I don't want to add any extra stress on my life. So I've always just, said that I would just wait for whoever. And if it never happens, it never happens. But that's just me. But I just have talked to so many people who feel like they have to be in a relationship, regardless if it's good or bad. And I'm just like, why we just can't wait? Or if you're not supposed to be in a relationship, just don't be in one. Be by yourself, love yourself enough, to be single or whatever. So anyway, my first question is, do you think how we grow up affects how we date and choose partners? Now, you guys can chime in, make your comments or questions or whatever. So that's my question to you.
Do I think how I grew up affects how I've dated? Yeah, of course.
Choose partners, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Why?
My parents have been married my whole life. So I'm 54. My parents have been married for over 54 years. So all I've seen and all I know is relationships. That's what they did. That was the dynamic. If they had to resolve something, the two of them went off together and had a conversation and made it work. So that's what I'm used to is relationship. I wasn't used to dating. I didn't get to date until I was in college. Mm-hmm. And then I really didn't know what I was doing. So we talk about it all the time.
Why did you have to wait to college before you dated?
I wasn't allowed to date.
Oh, dang. Oh, Okay. So what was your dating life in college?
We went to the movies. You know, I was an athlete. He was an athlete. So, you know, sports was our connection. The arts was our connection. So, you know, we did our homework together. We walked in the park together. We didn't have any money. So, we did a lot of things together with soul searching. It was very pure because, you know, we were 18, 19 at that time. So I didn't know anything but to have a relationship. And so I wanted to be with him all the time because that's what I saw my parents do, and that's what I saw my uncles and aunts do. My uncles and aunts had been married for years. So I didn't know about how to date. I just knew to be in a relationship.
So you dated that one person throughout the whole college? You never dated anybody else?
That's it.
You dated one person
I
all
dated
through
one
college?
person all through college.
Lord have mercy.
And he was probably sick of me.
Absolutely. A lack of what is seen is what some aspire to create, and vice versa. Yeah, I mean, I'm with that. Okay, so
relationships aren't difficult. We micromanage everything.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay, so after that, because you've apparently dated since then, because you know you eventually got married. So how was your dating experience after that one person in college?
It hasn't been great. You already know.
I know, but the people don't know.
It hasn't been great because I've dated off of potential, which, you know, you see that later on down the line. At first, if you like him, you got a good personality. Oh, we have a great time. We party together. We do these things. It was good. But as you get older, you start looking at character values, and it's not just about the looks. It's not just about the body. You know, now it's about, does he love God like I love God? Because that's the conversation up front. Now. Before,
how long, before you got to that point, how long did you date without the intention, without thinking about the most important stuff now? Like all those years in dating?
I never really dated a lot, Kim. I was in relationships. So I met somebody, but then there was long periods of time in between. So we're looking at, you know, 5 to 6 years in gaps in between dating. So specifics change, you know, and then as I got older and the pool got smaller, my expectations got lower and standards went lower.
And that just came with time?
That came with time of, you know, maybe I've been by myself for so long. So we settle. We settle at times.
Okay, yeah, so for me, I've never been a settler. So even in, I didn't date in high school because I wasn't allowed. But when I got out of house, I dated a lot. Or I would say I went out a lot. I've been out on many dates. A lot of them, you know, one-time dates, because you know, sometimes guys only be looking for one thing, and if you don't give them that one thing, then they on to the next one. So I was never that girl hooking up with everybody in high school or hooking up, and I didn't go to college, so I was never the one to just be hooking up with a whole bunch of dudes. So therefore, I didn't have a lot of relationships. I think the only one real relationship I had was with TJ, and that was on and off because he too was a player. I met him when I was 17, and I think we dated on and off for like 3 years. Hey, cuz, hey, Dennis. We dated on and off for 3 years. Well, that was a very traumatizing relationship for me because I didn't know what I was doing. My mom was single, so I hadn't seen her with anybody, so I didn't really know. I knew what I thought it was in my head, but I had never seen it. So for me, it was always, well, it had to be somebody that was in church, you know, and loved God and all that. But I've always been that way because that's just how I was raised. So I never dated anything outside of that. So when I met TJ and he didn't go to church, he cussed. I mean, the first day he came to my mama's house, he was cussing. I had to pull him to the side, like, what are you doing? Because he had no idea
Hey,
my background, you know what I'm saying? And his whole situation was unfamiliar to me because he grew up in the hood. Mm-hmm. He grew up in the streets. He grew up, you know, conning people and you know, just doing what street people do. I had never met anybody like that. So it was very new for me. And of course, I didn't tolerate nothing. So we clashed like all the time. I mean, it was a horrible, horrible relationship. And I know that he loved me, but he couldn't love me the way I needed to be loved.
Right.
And so then when it was all over and I decided, okay, I'm done with this. This relationship is too stressful. It was just too much. And then I found out he was cheating on me and through the whole time. And so all this stuff. And I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I just cannot. So I decided I'm going to leave you. I'm never, ever, ever going to lower my standards ever again because I felt like I did lower my standards with him because he tried so hard, you know, and he was the first person to really chase me, you know, not just to have sex, like he really, really wanted to be with me. And so, but yeah, that whole situation. But anyway, that was over. And then so after that, I was like, never again. So from that one relationship, I never settled after that, like ever. Like I'm never doing it again because I never wanted to go through what I went through with him ever again. And I knew it was all because we were not equally young. We were never supposed to be together.
But you understood that at an early age, what equally young meant.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't. I heard it all the time. I've been in church my whole life, but to really understand what equally yoked meant, I didn't understand that until I got in my marriage.
Oh, wow.
Then it said, what?
Oh, wow.
What have you been learning all this time? Y'all are not the same. Y'all are not on the same level, not religion, not money, not education, nothing was, not even social standings. Where I was at the time I got married was the little 16-year-old girl that was big-eyed in love with that guy back then. Mm-hmm. And when he reappeared 20 years later and he had the same, oh, I always thought of you, you always thought of me, we just said, let's just do it. And we just got married. We didn't even have a long dating period. We just did it. So that was the hugest mistake I could have ever made in my life. I mean, I paid for it. You hear me?
So, but you saw the flags. So that's going to get me to the third. You saw the flags. I would like to know why you ignored the flags.
I ignore the flags because I know at times when I have self-doubted me, and I'm always trying to be understanding, listening to somebody else's feelings or hearing what they've poured out. Mm-hmm. And so when it comes to certain situations, I may push off how I feel because I want to help them. Mm-hmm. And I'm neglecting my own feelings. Mm-hmm. I'm neglecting my own self.
Right.
My own self-worth. And not appreciated who I was in a relationship and more so valued who they were.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that's why a lot of people settle in relationships?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, Lord, yes. It could be a lot. Insecurities have a lot to do with it. Just wanting to have a companion because you've been
just for the sake of having a companion?
I have been absent for so long to have somebody I can relate to, have a conversation with. Oh, yeah. That has happened. And I've talked to a lot of people that's gone through it.
Shalita said, I thought he would grow into the man that I wanted.
Okay, potentially to hurt you. I'm not gonna cuss. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good.
It's a clean shot.
I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean,
trend potentially to hurt you.
I understand that, but I guess, but like you said, see, I didn't know that you didn't have that equally yoked conversation, because that's why I was like, when you was gonna marry him, I just like, this is just not right, and it was just so hard for me to believe that you were looking past so many things that were wrong, and I just didn't get it. But I was there for you, girl.
You were. You stood right up with me.
I stood right there.
But, you know, I had friends that told me straight up they were not standing with me. They were not going to stand with me.
No, blame me.
And, but
nobody wants to see. Let me tell you a funny story.
You
mind if I talk
run
about
in
that
flames.
Day? Do you mind if I talk about that day?
Go ahead.
Briefly. Okay, so I'm going to tell y'all something. So on her wedding day, everybody was so excited. Now, me, I was like, this ain't going to work. But I went. I was even up until the night before. I was like, "Girl, you want me to?" Because I can tell them the wedding is canceled. You ain't got to answer no questions. I answer all questions. Right, the night before. I did. She did. And so even the day of, I'm standing there, and now her sister is bawling, crying. I mean, just face just wet, and I'm like, what are you crying for? I'm like, it's not gonna last. And so her sister was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. My sister is finally getting married. I was like, it ain't gonna last. I don't know why y'all so emotional.
You like she gonna finally get divorced soon too.
Yeah, I didn't give it like no time. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. But anyway.
That's potential.
Yeah, that potential. So yeah, I ain't never fell in love with nothing that had potential except for me. The only potential I'm waiting on is me. Okay, so but
people they also settle because time invested. I put so much time into this relationship that I think, oh, it could turn around, or we have time to, or let's go to counseling for this, or let's go or I put so much time into this, 8 years, I don't want to waste it. But what if you put 8 more in and you realize you still wasting it? So it's done. It's done.
Yeah, Ken said loneliness is a setup for failure when it comes to finding a mate. I agree. Yeah. I think a lot of people do stuff in desperation because they lonely. Like you said, I just want to be with somebody.
That part.
It's like the whole cupping season. People hook up, because it's cold.
Right. It's COVID.
I ain't a thick girl, so I don't think I qualify for cupping season because I'm kind of petite and little and skinny. So ain't nobody trying to be up under me. But
and I am a thick girl, and ain't nobody still trying to get up under me. So it's all right, though.
Okay, so it's safe to say that your standards and your requirements have changed since
quite a bit.
So would you ever date someone ever again with potential?
No, I have to have some stuff concrete now. Like
what?
Job.
Okay.
Car.
Okay.
Because I told you again, standards lowered. First it started off, oh, I'm in college. I've had a background in college. You got to have that too. I don't have any children. You don't have to have any children. You can't have any children too. Then after years started going by, it was like, well, if you got a little college, I'll take it. Right. 1 kid is okay. Well, 2 kids if they live with the mama. And they not with him. And then it got to be in the 40s, and so then it just, the dating pool got so slim.
Somebody says pee in the pool.
That, it did. It became, well, if he's a good man and he loves me and he pays attention to me and he does all these things. And when he came along, I was thinking, this is the same guy that asked me to marry him back in high school. And here it is 20 years later, it's the same guy and the only guy that had asked me to marry him. Okay, let's do it. That was it.
My Lord.
How bad was that decision? But lesson learned.
But your self-esteem is much better now, right, friend?
Oh, much better.
Okay, so let me see. Do I have a couple? So what advice would you give to someone who is currently in a relationship and who is considering marriage? Knowing what you know now, what advice could you give somebody? I know what I would say.
Well, first, God first. I don't like giving so much of advice versus giving experience. All I can do is give my own experiences and pray that God shows up in it and that they've learned something from what I've learned and gone through. But I know that communication is key.
It is key.
And it's got to be upfront and it's got to be consistent. And a lot of men don't know how to communicate.
They don't.
So therefore,
they do, but their communication is different from ours. Right. And because I've had to learn that there are certain things that I want to talk about up front because I don't want to waste my time. So I'm the person to, I'll ask a lot of questions up front. I've talked to people before who said they didn't even ask the man if he was married. They just started talking and they found out later that he was married. I said, well, did you ever ask him if he was married? It never came up. How do that never come up? How does that not come up? That's the first thing I ask. Are you married?
Do you have children?
You have kids? How many kids do you have?
Because that's what you're asking me.
Where do you work?
How much money you make? That's what you're asking me. A lot of them are asking that. How much do you make? What type of job do you have? What kind of car do you drive? What?
Oh, men ask you that?
Of course they do.
Oh, wow. Do these men have all this stuff that they asking you about?
I would hope so, but then you get to the point where, you've exchanged numbers and then, because I've tried the little online dating stuff.
Me too.
Don't like it. Doesn't work.
Hated it.
And so, you get to that point after you talk to them back and forth for some weeks and say, okay, now we're going to exchange numbers. I feel safe enough to give you my number. Everything was going great. Hey, why don't you send me a pic so I can relate it to your picture when you call or when you text, just so I can see you. But you send me a different pic, a different headshot.
Okay, not the headshot that I requested.
So we don't go any further after that. I mean, I get headshots. I'm an actor. I see headshots all day. So I don't want that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm 54. I've seen so many of them. I don't want that. I mean, I can have that, but that's not my focus.
Right. It's not,
because that grows in with relationship as it matures. So it doesn't mean anything until I'm emotionally connected.
Right. And I've been ghosted so much, honey.
Oh my God, what is that?
That is a whole topic by itself. Getting ghosted. I feel like at this point, 50 Cent could cast me in power because I have been ghosted. I can play ghost
for real.
Because I have been ghosted.
Big time.
I think I started getting ghosted before ghosting was even popular. Because I used to always wonder,
what is ghosting?
What? Because I thought,
and then when it happened, you were like, that's what it is.
Because I've been getting ghosted now for about 15 years. And then this is the crazy part. I always think, because this is before it became a term.
Right.
So I would always think, well, what did I do? Or what did I say? I'm like, because the conversation was good. Sometimes I went out on dates and I'm like, oh my God, he was so sweet. He opened the door. He paid for the meal.
Okay, that's my whole dating life. That's my whole dating life. It's like, what happened? What did I do?
Yeah.
What did I say?
What did I say? Because, this mouth, I'm a little, sometimes I say stuff, just comes out.
Sarcastic.
Kind of sarcastic.
And I already know. So, I know my mouth, but, my personality is great.
Yeah, I have a great personality.
I'm smart. I'm pretty.
Sonya said, I'm going back to ghosting. I don't want to explain why I don't like you. It's just not a good fit for me. And here's the thing. They don't give us reasons.
No.
So, and I started doing it because it was happening to me.
Which leads me into, this is why we love Insecure so much. Because it makes you insecure. I'm not an insecure person. I have very strong women around me. I've grown up with very strong. My mother is probably one of the strongest people I've ever known and met in my life.
Right.
So, and my grandmother behind that. So, to be around those type of women, it's hard not to, have those jabs. My mother is a sarcastic person, but sometimes some forms of sarcasm, is negative and can be taken very negatively.
Right.
But mine is sarcastically funny. I try to be sarcastic.
Yeah, I try to be funny.
I try.
It may not always come across that way. But, okay, so...
Hey, Dee.
Yeah, so the ghosting... Yeah, that ghosting...
Oh, wow.
When I finally figured out what was happening, it also made me say, okay, it's not me. Right? Because then I started talking to other ladies and friends and stuff. They was like, oh yeah, that's just what they do. That's just what people do now. Like, it's normal to get ghosted. Because nobody feels like they don't owe you an explanation. Like, I had a conversation with Shalita and another friend of mine, and I was saying, I don't understand how I had met this great guy. We had this great connection. We had all this stuff in common, and he got a phone call one night and said, hey, this my whoever, let me call you back. And I never heard from him again. So I was like,
well, at least you got a phone call.
I mean, but it was just one phone call.
Okay, but you got a phone call.
Okay, a phone call.
I'm on my way to Dallas to meet you finally after 4 months of us talking and conversating and video chatting and no show.
4 months of your time just wasted. Is this the guy?
And then you show up 2 months later. Babe, I'm sorry, I've been going through a lot of personal stuff, blah, 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 blah. So, understanding, okay. People go through things. It's COVID, blah, blah, blah. Showed up again and ghosted again. So, I don't know. These are men that are 50 plus, 40 plus. They know better.
She said, unfortunately, it's easier to go someone than to be honest. Well, yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's easier.
That's the guy.
It's
That's Sean.
Hey,
Sean, thank you.
That's a cop-out. Do you really want him to share his petty reason not to like you? At this point, no. Because
show,
now I get it.
No show.
Yeah, no, I get it now. But before now, yeah, I was wanting to know, man, you don't even have the decency to tell me why you don't like me or what I said or what I did. That's what I used to think. But now after having these conversations with my other friends and other ladies, no, it's no longer important because I don't care. Because the fact that you didn't choose me is on you. That's your bad.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, that's on you.
It's a blessing now. Now, before, it would have hurt me. In my younger years, that would have hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I was hurt a lot.
I would have gone through.
Oh, yeah, I was hurt a lot.
My own insecurities because, again, like I said, I grew up around men all the time. But my cousins, they dated outside of our race. So I was too dark for them.
Oh.
The ones that were closer in my age. So that started early.
Oh, okay.
You're too dark. Guys aren't going to like you. You're too dark. And then when guys weren't liking me, I was feeling like, am I too dark? Do I have pimples on my face? Oh my God. I was feeling like Michael Jackson, girl. My skin. But, you get over it.
Benji said hearts are divided because the person that they really like come and go. So what, they use somebody else in the meantime? Is that what you're saying, Mr. Banks?
I guess. James said, if you get ghosted, consider yourself lucky. You don't have to deal with the BS anymore. You're exactly
right. And I don't.
I wonder if white guys ghost. ... I
don't know.
I don't know.
A white guy.
I had
like a white guy once.
I have dated a white guy, but I think it was a problem because black soldiers kept approaching him about what he was doing with me, and it kind of scared him off.
Black soldiers?
Well, I lived in a military town from Lawton, Oklahoma, Fort Sill, Oklahoma, home of artillery, and yeah, so we're at a carnival or we're out and about, and yeah. People kept approaching him, and I think he felt very uncomfortable with it. I probably was his first black girl.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Shalita said yes,
but
I'm sorry I didn't hear your response. Oh, Benji, I was saying, so you said that maybe they're maybe in between relationships, or maybe their heart is divided with somebody else, and so they got to find somebody to fill that void in the meantime. Is that what you were saying, Mr. Banks?
I heard it was a form of entertainment. When they're bored at home,
yeah, they do.
Get on and start doing
right. It's
whatever.
Just like the good morning text. Don't
do that.
Don't do that.
Don't good morning.
Don't good morning me.
Good morning, beautiful.
Good morning, beautiful.
Say something else after that.
If you don't have anything else to say other than that, save your text.
Nothing.
Just don't say. Just yes.
Not to me.
Because you interrupting. Like I'm like, okay, because I used to wonder, you have me on auto text. If somebody
Is it
said
a
I
mass
was low
text
rate,
app?
is it just a mass thing? Like you have an automatic
Every day, the same thing.
Yeah, an automatic timer where you just send out a text and say
Hello,
good morning,
beautiful.
beautiful to everybody.
Hello, beautiful.
Don't do that.
Have a blessed day. Hello, beautiful. Hello, beautiful.
Sonya said she totally agree with Mr. Banks. Yes. Oh, he said that's the facts. So they in between people, or they really like somebody else, but they trip. That person is tripping, so they like, oh, let me text Kim and see what she doing since my old girl tripping. Child, bye.
Yeah. Ain't nobody got time.
Ain't nobody got time for that. So let me tell you, this is what I would say to people, someone who is in a relationship or thinking about getting married. I would say, ask the questions. Sonya say entertaining themselves. Yeah, it's just for pure entertainment at my expense. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. But I would say ask questions because, and see, nowadays,
learn backgrounds.
Get backgrounds, and see, men will still lie. I have dated men who I asked them were they married, and they told me they were divorced.
True.
And have been in a relationship with this one guy I talked to had been with his wife since college. And it took me finding out because here's the thing. He was supposed to be a Christian. You know, he was tall and beautiful and dressed nice and smelled good and went to church and he was funny and he called me every day. And I just thought, Lord, like for real, Lord, is it finally my season? Is this my Boaz? And the Lord was like, no, ma'am, hold on just a second. And so, because I kept getting these signs because he kept trying to, get me, in the bed. And I was like, something about this is not right because how you horny after you just got through reading the scripture or you just finished devotion?
Well,
And I was like,
the devil can float up in them spirits too in the midst of. Well,
I understand that, but if this is your practice and you do this every day and every morning and you have devotional 3 times a day, you can't tell me that as soon as you see me, the first thing you want to do is put your hand down my pants. That is not
temptation.
Child, whatever.
You were tempting him, girl.
Girl, I was not tempting him. Yeah, I was not tempting him.
Hey, Puff.
But so anyway, he kept doing that. It was like, and I didn't tell you, so the first week we met, it wasn't even a full 7 days. He was like, well, I booked us a room out of town. And I was like,
he really didn't know you.
No, not at all.
Oh my God.
And he said, I booked us a room out of town. And I said, well, why would you do that? He said, well, because you said you hadn't been on a vacation in a while. You had been really stressed out or whatever. So I thought I would just I said, sir, I don't know you. I'm not in the stranger danger. I am not about to take off out of town with somebody that I've only known for 3 days, sir.
Well, they move fast because there's so much stuff on.
Well, no, he was just trying to get tail.
Don't they all?
I'm just saying.
All the time?
But so anyway, the point of the story is he kept on. It was like every time he saw me, and I was like, you know what? Something is not right with this picture. I said, because you're not a bad looking guy. So I'm sure it's easy for you to get women. So the reason why you trying to have sex so quickly, I'm like, I'm really not understanding that. Oh man, I just like you and you're so beautiful and I just can't help myself. I was like, I don't believe that. And I said, you sound to me like you need some type of counseling. You got some type of addiction or something. You need to seek help.
He does have addiction.
Right. And so what happened was I ended up calling my friend because she knew him. And I said, I really like this guy. I said, but it's this one thing that's really turning me off. And I said, and I don't understand why. And I said, how well do you know him? And she said, well, first of all, boo, I think he's married. And I was like, I said, no, because I asked him. I asked him if he was married, and he told me
and
no.
You asked the questions.
Oh, I
know you asked the question because you asked me if I asked the questions.
Right.
So.
I think she said, I believe he's married. I said, no, because I asked him and he told me he was divorced. She said, friend, if he's divorced and it just recently happened. She was like, but as far as I know, he's married. I said, so you mean this nigga done wasted 30 days of my time he's married? And she said, let me make a phone call. So she made a phone call. And she called me back. She was like, yeah, he's married. Girl, you talk about, like, seriously. You would lie to somebody just to sleep with them. And you got a whole marriage and kids and a daughter, no less.
Yes.
You have a daughter.
It's called sex. And they don't care. They don't relate it to emotions like we related to. And we're seeking relationship.
Right.
So we want that emotional connection. They're not they're looking at, ooh, baby, you got your body, that onion. Oh, turn around. That's what they want.
So my thing
and
is,
they saw that way before you even got there. So that was the intention from the beginning, from Jump Street.
My thing was, so you would want somebody to do your daughter like that?
No. That's the question to ask them, yeah.
I did. Oh, I did. Because after I find out and after he knew that I knew.
Hey, dear.
After he knew that I knew, that was the text that I sent him. I sent him this long text. Of course, he never responded. Of course, he didn't respond. But I had to say what I had to say. And I just told him at the end, I said, I hope your daughter meets somebody just like you. Because I found out he was a serial cheater.
Oh.
He had been cheating for years. Because there were a couple of other people before. There were a couple of people that came to me and said that he looked familiar and they thought he was married. And I said, no, it must be somebody different. Because he's not married. Yeah. But anyway, so that's one of my tragic stories. But yeah, that's why I ask questions. But anyway.
But you can, like you said, you can ask all the questions you want. A lot of it, you really have to learn about their backgrounds. You got to learn about their families because, everybody wasn't raised the way you were raised. Everybody don't think the way you think.
Sonia said a guy told me men aren't thinking about their daughters when they use women. Well, apparently not. Apparently not.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
A guy told her that men aren't thinking about their daughters when they use women. No, apparently not.
They don't.
Apparently not.
Some men don't care if they are married. If you are willing to give them your time and money, they will lie. That is so on point. Hey, ladies. Hey, Eric.
Aww,
that's ATC in the house.
What's up, Eric? Aww.
Okay, so we met at ATC. We worked with Eric at ATC and probably a whole bunch of folks out there.
A whole bunch of folks. I met the whole probably, child, ATC.
Irving, Texas. I mean, that was 1991, 92.
Yeah, it was 92 and
92, 93.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because then that was that whole scandal and I went to jail.
There's a difference between males and men. Time will always tell.
Well, I agree. And
that's coming from a gentleman. That's coming from James, I know.
I've gotten flack sometimes for saying male instead of men. I'm like, yeah, that's what I meant. They're males. They're not men.
Yeah.
So I means what I said.
Hey, Steph. Okay. That's ATC in the house.
Y'all have any questions? Because it's 7:13. I know some of y'all are about to watch this football. NFL. Something. I don't know. I ain't watching.
IBM. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Hey, Terry. Terry, you missed the whole show. Go back and watch it. You missed the whole show, Terry. Go back and watch it later, girl.
Whole bunch of folks. It was a whole bunch of folks at ATC. There's Pansy. Okay, Diana. That's Lady Di from Cameron.
It's my show. I got 4 people and you got 17.
Well, I said come on in the room because we're going to talk to KFLO today. we going to be on the KFLO show.
Somebody said this was great. Thank you, Renia.
Yeah, okay. We're going to have to do this again.
So y'all check me out again on, if y'all have time, go back and watch the fire session. It was on Tuesday. I think it's on Kenneth Boston's page. I'm not sure if it's on but I was also on the fire session talking about relationships and stuff. So my next show will not be this coming Thursday, but the next following Thursday. I try to do every other Thursday because I know y'all be busy and I don't want to take up too much of people's time. So y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Please tag somebody, like, and share because I would really like to get my viewers up.
Thank you.
Yeah, because what I really want to have my own talk show. Like,
and that's what we need to do.
For real, for real.
Because she just spoke it into existence. It is KFLO Show.
Really what I want to do, because I have a lot to talk about.
We do. She does.
I really do. I have a lot of topics and stuff I want to talk about. So, anyway.
Feed us with y'all's questions and Kim will talk about it.
Yeah, I'll take suggestions. If it's a topic y'all want to talk about, DM me or shoot me a message. I'll talk about it. Eric said he missed it. You missed it, Eric, but you can go back and watch it on my page because I'm going to go back and post it. And it'll be there for you to view. Okay?
Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate it. Love you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tam.
So, thank you for
Teresa.
For another day-to-day episode Conversations with KFLO. Y'all follow me on Instagram on the old gram at KStylesU. I'm also a stylist for anybody that does not know. KSTYLESYOU on the gram. What?
That
That part, right? All right.
Peace.